We have some breaking news rippling throughout the land of the NFL. What we've been anticipating for what feels like months now is finally going to happen. According to the NFL Network insiders, Aaron Rodgers is finally heading to Pittsburgh. Welcome into our NFL Network coverage in the NFL Network newsroom. Steve Wyche, I'm Omar Reese, and one of those insiders, Tom Pelissero, is here. Tom, break it down for us. How did this happen and why now?
Well, you're right, Omar. This is something that the Steelers had been focused on for months. And as much as Aaron Rodgers mulled his options, including retirement, including potential other playing options, it had been apparent for a couple months that if he was going to play, it was going to be in Pittsburgh. So what I can tell you today is that Aaron Rodgers now plans to fly on Friday to Pittsburgh, finalize and sign his contract, and be on the field for next week's mandatory minicamp. Now, obviously, the fact that Rodgers is not currently under contract means that he would not have had to show up for minicamp. But by coming in now, it accomplishes a couple of different things. One, it removes all the uncertainty that then would have lingered for the next 5 to 6 weeks before training camp began in Latrobe. The second part is he gets a little bit of time around the facility and the locker room on the field with his teammates, getting to know a bunch of players who he has never met before. He has been throwing out in California with DK Metcalf. We saw some photos of that several weeks ago. He's been in communication with Mike Tomlin and other members of the coaching staff. Now, pending the finalizing of what is expected to be a one-year contract, Aaron Rodgers, at age 41, is set to play his 21st NFL season in the black and gold.
And he's heading into his 21st season. Steve, your instant reaction.
Well, I mean, look, this is something that we expected. They both sides have been operating for months as if this deal was going to happen. And the fact that Tom and the insiders reported it's happening right before the mandatory minicamp kind of leads you to believe he'll get there. He'll be in meetings. He'll walk through. They've got to change, check out his physical condition to see where he is. But the fact that both sides have been operating like this was going to be happening for so long, you have to wonder, has he gotten film? Has he got some stuff from the playbook from offensive coordinator Arthur Smith? Because this is a run-first offense. This is what they're going to be trying to do. But you've also heard more and more rumors, reports, whatever, about the Steelers trying to add to DK Metcalf. Remember, they got rid of George Pickens. Are they going to go after Jonnu Smith? Are they going to try to get another option? That's all because you're trying to set the table to maybe open up this offense a little bit more because Aaron Rodgers is finally coming on board. So, again, this is something that we've expected. He's 41 years old. How much does he have left? We'll see. But you look about what they've done the past 4 years with Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Is he an upgrade over them? We'll see. But on paper and historically, absolutely.
It's essentially been a revolving door since Ben Roethlisberger retired after the 2021 season. Tom, we heard Steve mention DK Metcalf coming in, perhaps adding more weapons. What do you know about maybe the Steelers adding to their arsenal? We know they got Robert Woods recently to add to that veteran wide receiver core. What more could they be adding here in the next few weeks?
Well, we know that Omar Khan's been aggressive in this offseason, most notably with the trade for DK Metcalf. I have not gotten any sense that there's anything imminent in terms of adding other players. At times, teams' names get involved in supposed trade talks, in part because an agent's trying to get a new contract elsewhere. That certainly could be the case when it comes to Jonnu Smith. This is a move with Aaron Rodgers coming to the Steelers that is really about trying to elevate this team beyond where they've been since Ben Roethlisberger retired. Over the past 3 seasons, they are 29-22. They've gone to the playoffs twice while starting 5 different quarterbacks, including Russell Wilson and Justin Fields last year. You can certainly make an argument that they have not had, forget top 10, not even top 20 type quarterback play in those past 3 seasons since Big Ben walked away. So they don't necessarily need Aaron Rodgers to come in and somehow channel the Rodgers that won 4 MVPs in Green Bay. It's been since 2021 that we've really seen Aaron Rodgers playing at a peak level. But if he can channel something of what he was in the past, think like Brett Favre when he went to the Vikings back in 2009, just be good enough. This is a Steelers team that they believe has enough talent that they can be a factor in a really rugged division and, of course, the tough AFC.
At this point, we all know Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. But since the Steelers organization, winner of 6 Super Bowls, tied for all time with New England Patriots, since they first won a playoff game in 1972, this is the longest stretch that organization has gone without a playoff win. So as we go into the 2025 season, Steve, what do you make of their chances now with Aaron Rodgers heading into the year?
Well, I really want to piggyback on what Tom said. That was really good stuff. He doesn't have to be peak Aaron Rodgers. He just has to be better. The thing is, even a better Aaron Rodgers than what we've maybe seen the past couple of years, he's still the third best quarterback in that division behind Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, now whatever order you want to stack them. But he can still be good enough to get an overall solid team. Very good defense, very solid offensively if they can get good quarterback play. To be a good team, to get to the Super Bowl, we know there's Buffalo. We know there's Kansas City. We know the Chargers are on the come up. The Broncos are on their come up. But the Steelers had to compete because the AFC is just that good. But Aaron Rodgers clearly adds a lot of intrigue. We know Mike Tomlin loves intrigue. We know this organization deals with a lot of intrigue on and off the field. But this, again, solidifies or potentially solidifies a quarterback position for a year that has just been a carousel.
And we saw those highlights with Aaron Rodgers in a Jets uniform. Who do they open up against? The Pittsburgh Steelers week 1 in New York and the New York Jets. It'll be reunion to start the season because DK Metcalf will get to reunion with the Seahawks in week 2. And then Aaron Rodgers in week 8 will go against the Green Bay Packers. Tom, some final thoughts here.
We know this, Omar, when it comes to that opener, Aaron Rodgers has made abundantly clear that he did not like how his exit from New York was handled here. So perhaps a little extra motivation for Rodgers and for a Jets team that's trying to put a new stamp on the Aaron Glenn era. What better way to start out than against their old QB?
Oh, the NFL schedule makers always making these juicy connections. We'll have much more with Tom and Steve on the NFL Network Insiders tonight, 7 Eastern. That's been breaking news on NFL Network.